So on my birthday, the 7th of March, 2019, I bought myself a copy of this book. A game changer. Listen, I experienced something that I had never experienced my whole life. I was even embarrassed to tell the people who were close to me about this thing, because they're also going to be surprised. Haibo, wena, mamosa, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It's so unlike you. So I kept it to myself. I suffered alone. I suffered in silence. That okay, we started this journey at the same time and some people are done. I am still not done and I am nowhere close to the finish line. I couldn't take it anymore. The weight was too heavy on my shoulders and I needed help. It's also very important to remember that this is your journey and it will do you good to stop looking at what others are doing and what they have achieved. For one thing about comparison, without a doubt, it was still your joy and peace. When I got back into my room, I prayed, I cried, I repented for not trusting God, for not having faith in Him, for just wanting to take matters into my own hands. And I also asked Him to take charge, to lead me, to walk with me, to guide me. And God gave me the greatest gift from that day, the gift of peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding. Walk with Him, allow Him to hold you by the hand and just let go. There is so much power in letting go. Let go and let God. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of our series where we are unpacking my PhD journey and extracting the lessons that I learned along the way. Without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. As mentioned previously, I got to Cape Town in 2019 to pursue my PhD at UCT, and I was so excited and looking forward to embarking on this new journey. And a few weeks down the line, or maybe a month or so, and then the reality kicked in. In fact, I experienced something that I had never experienced my whole life. And at the time, I didn't even know what to name it. I experienced it, I felt it. I was even embarrassed to tell the people who were close to me about this thing, because they're also going to be surprised. Haibo, wena, mamosa, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It's so unlike you. So I kept it to myself. I suffered alone. I suffered in silence. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about. I am talking about imposter syndrome. Hey! When I started going to campus, meeting everyone in the lab, meeting some people in the department, yes, there was excitement, but slowly, lack of confidence started creeping in. I mean, I've always been someone with confidence, and I had never really experienced issues with doubting myself and my capabilities, but I experienced that for the first time, and slowly I started shrinking. I started questioning my abilities and even wondering whether I deserve to be where I was at the time at UCT. part of it kind of made sense because I had now moved to a different research project. As mentioned in the previous episode, my master's project was focusing on sorghum, a crop that has some drought tolerance abilities, right? And now for my PhD, the focus was on different plants, resurrection plants, which has a remarkable quality to survive under extremely dry conditions and then come back to life as soon as you give them water. But it also involved a lot of skills that I didn't have at the time. So the language in the lab was so different. I felt like a beginner. And of course, there is nothing wrong with being a beginner. I knew from the get-go that I'm going to a different space. I'm joining a new lab. And it means I'm gonna start from scratch. I will be a beginner. I will be learning from scratch. So nothing wrong with that. But everything was so foreign. Everything was so different. And everything seemed challenging. And when I looked at everyone around me, it felt like they all knew what they were doing, except me. It got to a point where I dreaded going to the lab. Everything was just going zoop south. And again, zip it. I am not sharing this with anyone. Keeping it to myself. Dying alone, Baba. It was embarrassing. It was hard to go through that season. As time went by, an idea came to mind that how about I start watching TED Talk videos on YouTube to learn more about confidence, boosting your confidence, growing your confidence, and all of that. And I started doing it, watching videos on YouTube. I binged watch videos, and they did help. And I also think it was during the same period when I joined Toastmasters. That was one of the best decisions I ever made. I joined UCT Toastmasters. So Toastmasters is basically an international organization where people learn how to speak in public. It's also about leadership as well. It was the most beautiful experience I had. One of the most beautiful experiences I had that year. I met wonderful people. I worked on my presentation skills. I received positive feedback, constructive feedback on what I can improve on. It was absolutely beautiful. So that also boosted my confidence. So there was TED Talks, Toastmasters. Then I saw a status from one of the guys on my contact list, and he had posted this book. I actually need to show you the book. Just a moment. All right, I'm back. He had posted this book by Robin Sharma, The 5 a.m. Club. Own your morning and elevate your life. And then when I saw this, I took a screenshot. I was like, this looks like an interesting book. And the reason why it caught my eye was because of the title, The 5 a.m. Club. I have always been a morning person, but I didn't have a routine. I would just wake up early in the morning and do what? I don't know. So I was like, okay, maybe if I read this book, I'll have an idea on what to do when I wake up in the morning and start practicing that. So on my birthday, the 7th of March, 2019, I bought myself a copy of this book. A game changer. Listen, the best gift I bought for myself that year. I read this book twice that year, and my life was never the same. I'm not gonna review the book because otherwise this video will be too long. But this was a game changer. After reading this book, listen, I started showing up differently and my confidence levels started skyrocketing. I was in a much better space. So that's when my journey, my personal growth journey began. And I never looked back. Oh, I think that year alone, I read close to 20 books about self-development. Okay, that's not where I am. That's not where the focus is. But back to what I was talking about, I experienced imposter syndrome for the first time in my life. And it was not cute. It was not fun. But thankfully, by the grace of God, I managed to overcome and get out of that funk. Sharp. As time went by, I got familiar with the space, I got familiar with the environment and the actual project. But that year, I didn't do much in terms of lab work because my project was mainly in the lab. So no lab work, no results. I would say 2019 was more a year of learning. And looking back now, I feel like 2019 was a preparation for what was going to come. But at that time, I didn't know. Okay, so fast forward to 2020. Beginning of the year, now I have acquired some knowledge about the project. I am good to go. Of course, I had started doing some lab work towards the end of 2019, but I didn't have results. So 2020, I'm on a mission to work on my experiments and gather my results. We all know what happened in 2020. COVID happened in March, and we all thought, this is probably gonna take 3 weeks. Remember that 21-day lockdown? We didn't think that it would stretch for that long. So for about 6 months or so, I couldn't do any lab work because no one was allowed to go to campus. We were only allowed to go back in August. Because my project was focusing on plants, when I got back to the lab, it meant that I had to go back to germinating seeds and growing the plants so that I can start with the actual experiment. And that took about 2 to 3 weeks for the plants to reach the appropriate stage. So I would say the actual lab work resumed in October. But then still, I did not have any results for the rest of 2020. Then 2021, same thing, learning, optimizing protocols, trying out different methods, seeing which one can work. And I got some results towards the end of 2021, but not everything. So it meant that I had to continue working. Mind you, that was my 3rd year. And when I first enrolled, I thought by 3rd year I would be done. I would have gotten results. I would have compiled my work and write my thesis, submit, and prepare for graduation the following year. Jokes on me because I did not have anything to show for the work that I was doing. Okay, just to sum it all up without boring you with the details, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, those 4 years, I was working hard, waking up each and every day, showing up, going to the lab, trying to generate results, optimizing different protocols, but there was no success. The success rate was probably 30%, and I could not understand why my things were not working. The worst part was some of my colleagues who had arrived after me were successful with their experiment. And I was so confused. How is it even possible that your experiments work when I even showed you some of the things when we arrived? Because when someone arrives from in a new space, they are shown around by those who have been there for some time. So I was the one showing people around, this is how we do things. And then their things are working, mine are not working. I couldn't understand it. It was a mystery. I did not get it at all. And now I started having financial issues. I'm now in my 4th year, and my funding was only for 3 years. So fortunately, I was able to apply for an extension, and they granted me the extension, thankfully. But those 4 years, I was toiling, but in vain. I was showing up, but there was nothing to show for it. I was putting in the work and the effort, but there were no results to reflect the amount of work that I was putting in. It was painful, to say the least. And I started comparing myself to others that, okay, we started this journey at the same time and some people are done. I am still not done, and I am nowhere close to the finish line. What I didn't mention is that end of 2021, one of my colleagues and I went to Germany for an exchange program. So we're going to spend a year in Germany. The whole of 2022, I was there doing a different aspect of my project, using the facilities that side. So during my stay there, of course it was beautiful. I got to travel and have the best time of my life. But while all of that was happening, I was in a dark space inside. Internally, I was dying because I felt like I was not progressing. And I believe it was for the first time in my life when I hit depression. It was not diagnosed, but I felt like all the symptoms were there. No energy to wake up in the morning, to show up. I just wanted to sleep the entire time. I didn't feel like doing anything productive. Going to the office was a drag. I just wanted to be in my room, eat, sleep, binge watch things, and that's it. So I remember, I think I've shared this story before, so I won't really go into the details. If you wanna check it out, I will link the video down below. But I remember in May 2022, while I was still in Germany, I was expecting results from some company because I had sent my samples, and now I was expecting the results to see if the quality is good. Are we in a good position to proceed and start doing the analysis? What's happening? And when the results came, I was told that they are not good, so we can't proceed with the next step. Oh man, I was crushed. I cried literal tears, because what that meant was I had to go back to the lab to generate these results, and it takes months to generate the results. Sometimes things don't work, so you must repeat again and again. And unfortunately, this part of the experiment could only be done in Cape Town, back in South Africa. And I was in Germany. I couldn't do it because all the staff were in Cape Town. So I had to ask some of my colleagues to help me with that aspect of my project. And of course, because you're asking someone who's also busy with their own work, they won't always do your work first. It only makes sense for them to start with their work. Their work is the priority, and they can squeeze in your work here and there. So I really appreciated the fact that they even said yes. After that incident, when I was told that my samples have low quality and we can't proceed with the next step, then I was depressed. I remember in July that same year reaching out to one of our colleagues who was also in Germany. He was doing postdoc at the time, just asking him for a meet-up. And he said, oh yeah, sure, you can come. And we met. And the reason why I ended up reaching out to him was because I couldn't take it anymore. The weight was too heavy on my shoulders and I needed help. I needed to talk to someone who had walked the journey, who had an experience, and someone who could share something that would give me encouragement, someone who would shed some light and tell me that it will be okay. That was the turning point. And to end off this video, I'm gonna read this journal entry. I won't read everything because it's quite long. How many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5, you see. Yeah, I really poured out my heart here. I jotted down everything and I'm glad I did because I can always go back and see what I wrote. Alright, so I basically met up with him on that Friday afternoon and I told him everything that was happening, that I feel stuck. I feel like everything that I'm doing is not working out. I don't even know if I will finish this PhD. Everyone else is finishing, but I'm not. And I was supposed to finish this in 3 years, but now I'm on my 4th year and still I don't have results. So definitely I won't finish. I poured out my heart. And one thing that I'm grateful for is that he listened. Oh, he was listening attentively. No judgment, just listening to understand. And when it was finally his time to respond, he responded. And I'm just gonna write down his response. And I hope this will encourage someone else who may be going through a difficult time. Maybe not necessarily a PhD problem, but any challenge that you may be experiencing in life where you feel like this is too much, the weight is too heavy, and I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna read out his response. What are you holding on to? Just let go and allow God to guide you. Don't be so fixated on finishing your PhD that you miss out on some of the most important life experiences along the way. Going through challenges is part of the journey, and through them we learn lessons, we grow and become better. PhD struggles are quite common, and if you experience them, it means you are on the right path. Remember, this is not just about scooping a degree certificate. It's also about learning and growing in the process. Of course, some people are fortunate in that they are able to complete their PhDs in 3 years. Kudos to them, but majority of people around the world take about 4 to 5 years. So you're not the only one. Just let go of the fact that you're supposed to do it in 3 years. Scratch it out completely and focus on the present moment. You cannot move forward if your energy and focus are stuck in the past. Whatever happened, happened. You cannot change or undo it. The best thing you can do is to accept and move on and focus on the now. The same applies to worrying about the future. something which you absolutely have no control over. Save your energy and focus on what you can control. As a Christian, you shouldn't worry or stress because you have a Father who cares and is always ready to step in, help, and deliver you from your crucibles. Just shed off the heavy weight on your shoulders and trust Him with your life. If you hold on to the heavy load, you are more like someone carrying lots of heavy luggage, and when they are offered a lift, they accept it but don't put their bags down in the car to rest. What's the point? Shed the weight off your shoulders and rest in God. He says, "Come unto me, all you who are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Trust His word and do as commanded. And one thing about God, He will never allow you to go through something you cannot deal with or overcome. Also, take this as preparation for the next stage in your life. What if you rush through this phase only to get stuck in the next one? Just allow God to take charge, and when the time is right, you will finish your PhD and a great opportunity will open up for you. But you must also do your part. Do your best and trust God with the rest. When the time is right, you will finish your PhD. And the time did come and I finished my PhD. Yeah, God is always in control, and He has our best interests at heart. The best thing that we can do is to allow Him to do what He knows is best for us and fully trust Him. It's also very important to remember that this is your journey, and it will do you good to stop looking at what others are doing and what they have achieved. For one thing about comparison, without a doubt, it will steal your joy and peace. For me, this was the turning point. The meeting with this guy, Heyyy, that's his name. I hope he won't mind me mentioning his name. This was the turning point. He spoke so much life into me, and when I left that space, I was never the same. When I got back into my room, I prayed, I cried, because I was so grateful. I felt like God used him to minister unto me in a mighty way. I got to my room, I cried, I repented for not trusting God, for not having faith in Him, for just wanting to take matters into my own hands. And I also asked Him to take charge, to lead me, to walk with me, to guide me. And God gave me the greatest gift from that day, the gift of peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding. Oh! That's the best gift that I got from that year going forward until I finished my PhD. Because even when things would go south during the course of that year, because a lot of things went south, 2022, 2023, that's when things were starting to come together. But I was at peace. I was not freaking out. I was not anxious as I used to be previously, because I had surrendered. I had let go and I had trusted God to take charge. I mean, He had allowed me to embark on this journey from the get-go. There was no way he was going to leave me alone. All that happened was for my own growth and transformation. But not to say that it was nice and fun. It wasn't, as I've mentioned. It was a dark space for me. But it was necessary. Now that I look back, it was necessary for my character refinement and development. And I wouldn't know what I know now if it wasn't for the experience that I had. So I am very grateful to God. As I end off this video, I want to say to someone out there that the journey may seem to be long and may not understand why it's taking so long, why things are not working out. Maybe you've been applying for jobs and there are no job opportunities for you. Maybe you have been trying that business, but things are just not working out. At school, maybe you're struggling, you've been trying, you keep on failing, nothing seems to be working out. I hope this will comfort you. Say, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It won't stay dark forever. The best thing that you can do for yourself is to lift off the heavy weight from your shoulder and leave it in God's hand. Walk with Him. Allow Him to hold you by the hand and just let go. Oh, there is so much power in letting go. Let go and let God. Just surrender, and God will give you the greatest gift. And that is the peace that surpasses all understanding. And also, comparison. Yes, we may all start the journey together. We may all graduate at the same time. Others will be fortunate to get the job as soon as they graduate. But maybe you won't be the fortunate one. You may enroll in the same course at the same time, but some will graduate before you. That's just the reality of life. Instead of spending time comparing yourself to someone else, which is natural and it's very easy to do, right? Let us not lie to ourselves. It's very easy to compare. But I think we should learn to constantly remind ourselves that the journey is mine and the journey is unique. Therefore, let me try to focus on my journey and what God is trying to do in my life, instead of spending time looking around me, seeing what everyone else is doing and becoming sad every day, depressed, anxious, and going deep into a dark space. It's not easy. I won't lie, it's not easy, but it's something that one needs to constantly do with the help of God, of course. But one thing is sure, one thing is certain, no season lasts forever. That is for sure. Okay, this is the end of the second episode of the series. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do share with someone who you think will benefit from this video, and subscribe. I don't even know how to say it anymore. It's been long. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Click on that notification bell so that you can get notified every time when I upload a new video. And please also feel free to comment down below. You can share your experiences, you can share your takeaway from this, anything, or you can just drop some love, some hearts. You know what I mean? Why not? Let's spread some love, guys. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you soon.